Hey guys, I think you can hear me now. All right, here we go. All right, so I am going to read this um, about divine counterparts and soulmates. Let me see if I can. Okay, here we go. I'm wondering if this is going to work. All right, I think we are here. All right, so I'm going to read this. It's by Anarchist Banjo. Don't read too much into the name. It says, our divine counterparts is created at the same time that we develop our own sense of self or ego. We assist each other in this process. This happens in progressive stages. We are both created out of the same soul material at the same time. Each development of our newly created soul is balanced with the corresponding yet opposite development in the newly created soul of our divine counterpart. I mentioned before that our soul or observer self is created from a perfectly balanced mixture of male and female energies. The soul is neither male nor female. It is perfectly neutral. Yet, in the beginning of our sense of awareness and sense of self is based completely upon the sex of our physical bodies. As we learn what it is to be male or female, we draw those things to us and integrate them as a part of us. At the same time, we reject those things that belong to the opposite sex and push them away. The end result is that we acquire a solid sense of self based. The end result is that we acquire a solid sense of self based upon the sex of our own physical body, and our divine counterpart gains a similar sense of self based upon the sex of their body. We are total opposites of each other and having nothing at all in common except the energetic soul link that binds us together. Turn that notification off, sorry. We discover things inside ourselves that we don't like and push them away in disgust and fear. This act of pushing away gives those things to our divine counterpart, and they become those same things. At the same time, we become what they dislike and fear and what they push away. As this process continues, our sense of self becomes more firmly established inside of us. The same things happen with our divine counterpart, and their sense of self becomes more firmly established in a completely opposite way. Then we discover things that we like in other people and wish they were a part of us, but we don't believe we really have those qualities. We can't find any of those qualities inside of us. Again, the same things happen. Those things which we can't find in ourselves are given to our divine counterpart and become a part of who they are. Those things which our divine counterpart likes but cannot find within themselves becomes a part of who we are. These things come to us through the soul link which we share. At this point, our divine counterpart is the opposite sex, has personal characteristics that we don't like, and at the same time has other personal characteristics which we really admire. We are strongly attracted and repelled by them at the same time, and they feel the same way towards us. We are not consciously aware of these things. The only things we are aware of is the powerful spark that exists between us. We are polar opposites of each other. For those without a soul, this is where the process stops, and there is a mutual attraction/repulsion between them, a clash of will and ideals, a battle of the sexes. This is the old way. This is the way it has always been. In the past, neither divine counterpart could experience or understand life from the point of view of the other. There was no common understanding of life experience, but only duality and separation. They did not live in the same world as we did, but that has now changed. It is now possible for divine counterparts to find each other and experience full spectrum physical love relationships together for the first time. This is the new pattern, and it already exists within the astral planes. Instead of Satan to each other, each is now able to come, instead of Satan to each other, each is now able to become a loving companion to their own divine counterpart. Our newly created soul energy, our newly created soul requires an equal balance of male and female energies, and our physical bodies can only provide one of those energies. Hey, speaking of energy day moon, we exchange this energy through the process of falling in love. Hold on, did I miss it over? Skip over. Okay, it says our newly created soul requires an equal balance of male and female energies, and our physical bodies can only provide one of those energies. We must receive the opposite sex energy from personal relationships with the opposite sex. We exchange this energy through the process of falling in love. This feeling of being in love is a magical feeling with energy exchanging between the two of us, and this mingling of these two energies creates something inside of us, something beautiful, and causes something to grow, causes our souls to grow. It happens to both of us, and it is magical. It is love. Yet a point is reached when the spark dies, when the magic is gone, when there is no more soul growth. This is the point where love dies. The point is reached where we can now find things in ourselves which we could only find in our partner before. Because we now find them in ourselves, they're not as attractive in our partner. At the same time, due to conflicts within the relationship, we find those very same things in ourselves which we dislike in our partner. Our relationship has caused us to become aware of the things about ourselves that we don't like. These are the reasons why the spark of love dies in many relationships. Yet, even though the spark has died, our soul has become larger and more balanced. We now contain a mixture of male and female energies. We no longer identify exclusively with our physical body, but realize that we are much more. We have a soul. Our sense of self is no longer focused upon just the physical. While these changes are happening inside of us, they are also happening inside our divine counterpart. We have not yet met our divine counterpart face to face. We have only met each other. We have only met other people whom we thought might be soulmates because of the strong sense of love and attraction that draws us together. With them, we experience love, soul growth, and then the painful realization that we are not compatible with each other. With each relationship, each time we fall in love, our soul becomes larger and more balanced, and our sense of self becomes more peaceful and spiritual. It really does. I can't help but, you know, throw a little commentary in here. It really truly does. We learn how to find those things we admire in others within ourselves, and we learn to accept and integrate those things about ourselves that we don't like. And this is happening to us. It is happening to our divine counterpart as well. As this is happening to us, it is happening to our divine counterpart as well. Our divine counterpart is our polar opposite, our true opposite. And the only way we can ever come together is through absolute unity where duality no longer exists. This can only happen at the highest spiritual level of existence. This can only happen through the mystical experiences. This can only happen through the mystical experience of becoming one with God, becoming one with everything that exists. Such mystical experiences of union with God, I say source or creator, such mystical experiences of union with our creator are in reality connections and reunions with our divine counterpart. There is a powerful bond and attraction of love between divine counterparts that is both spiritual and sexual in nature. It is a feeling of bliss and indescribable love. It is a feeling of becoming one with our creator. It is orgasmic. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Moon. Thank you. I know I enjoy this type of stuff too. When one divine counterpart is having the mystical experience of becoming one with God during meditation and prayer, the other may be having the mystical experience of becoming one with God while giving birth to a child. The mystical experience of unity is shared by both at the same time, but the personal experience of each is completely individual. Once this first contact happens, an entirely new sequence of events is activated from within the lives of both divine counterparts. There is an intense power of attraction and energy exchange between them at the highest spiritual levels. At these levels, the sense of self is challenged in every possible way until it is completely destroyed. This is the death of the false human ego. At this point, all the soul fragments of one divine counterpart are transferred into the other. This happens to both of them as they exchange parts of their souls. Each divine counterpart has experienced the death of their own ego and now carries a fragmented version of the other inside of their own soul, which makes them more complete. This is truly, truly fascinating. Yet these fragments are now parts of their own soul, and a massive healing process begins at the highest levels as they both begin communicating with each other on the soul level. Each divine counterpart now protects the other against all outside influences and dangers. This process will not stop or be interfered with until both are healthy and complete. Each divine counterpart creates timelines for the other, which will allow each fragment to heal and to be integrated. This is a very specific process. As each divine counterpart follows its own timeline or destiny and becomes more healed and complete, it also becomes more identical to its mate. In finding ways to heal and integrate these fragments, they both become more like each other. Level by level, they become true mates and companions. The bond between them increases in power and intensity, and they are drawn even more closely together within the astral planes. The next stage is when they are spiritually and platonically drawn to each other at the physical level and begin communicating with each other. For the first time, they become aware of each other and the true nature of their relationship. Layer by layer, level by level, they draw themselves to each other through the intense power of the love they have for each other. They attr- the attractive force between divine counterparts is so strong that nothing can keep them apart once they have found each other. It is only a matter of time until the relationship is consummated in some way. As each layer is completed, the energy flowing between them becomes stronger and harder to resist. The entire focus and goal of each becomes physical union with each other. As they both become more focused and goal-oriented, they become even more like-minded and compatible. They are no longer true opposites. They become divine counterparts with similar outlooks and beliefs. The next stage occurs when they are so closely fused together that they both exist inside each other at all levels and function as one. At that point, the resources and abilities of one become available to the other at all times. They have become like the yin yang symbol, opposite with similar shapes and joined in such a way that the movement and desire of one supports and strengthens the movement and desire of the other. For all practical purposes, they have become one soul within two bodies, living within two bodies. Before this happens, this same cycle happens between soulmates. Soulmates share specific types of soul connections with us, and that allows us to grow until we are healthy enough to attract our divine counterpart. Ow! So it is like divine counterpart is like multiple levels above a soulmate. It's like you experience a spiritual or a death of your own ego, of self, and Oops, my bad. I cut myself out. Yeah, we experience, you know, a including you. Yay, I love you. Oh, 5 likes for watching, 5 likes. Hey, yay, thank you. Love you. Thank you, energy. Yeah, you experience so many deaths of your own ego. You know what I'm saying? You can't help but feel like you have elevated to different realms and then continue to operate in realms above anything that is vibrating so low. So it's a trip. Has anybody experienced, this exchange of energy so deep and mysterious as a divine counterpart? Anyone. It's so crazy. For watching, 5 likes, yes. But it is okay. Put the air conditioner on. Oh, hang on a second, guys. But yeah, I mean, I can pull up Soulmate. Let me see. With people, places, and things. Yes. You think you are now? That's so awesome, Daymoon. It's really, 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 really cool. Let me see if I can. Let me pull up Soulmate. Let's see. Oh, they have a series on AMC called Soulmates. Hold on. I'll share the screen right now as soon as I find something good to read on Soulmate. I love you too, baby. Let's see. Let me find a good page. Maybe I should go here. No. I don't want to read the 10 elements of soulmates or the 29 elements of soulmates. Maybe I'm going to need to. Yeah, I probably should do that. Let's see. Oh, here's medium.com. So I'm going to be sure to give, credit where I'm finding this information so you guys can. Let's add this to the screen. And let's do this. Let me go back to my screen. 6 unmistakable signs you found your soulmate. Let me see. Let me click out of that. Sorry. Oh, it's not going to let me. Is it? I hope it does. Oh, here it is. Books and movies have long perpetuated the idea that there's this one single person who's destined to be with you forever. This idea doesn't always seem very realistic, and the concept of soulmates can be a polarizing one, especially because everyone has its own definition. But if you have a not so strict definition of the term soulmate, someone who you know instinctively, who gives you a sense of peace yet allows you to grow as a person, things can be more down to earth. Although I think that books and movies can create toxic expectations of love and romance, I also believe that if we're lucky enough, we may come across something truly special. I did, and it's beautiful. I had always been a romantic and sensitive person until I got my heart broken for the first time. Then I started numbing myself with alcohol and cigarettes, and I shielded my heart so I would never love again. After several years of self-sabotaging, I finally worked up the nerve and started my healing journey. It was it was incredibly difficult as I was forced to face my deepest wounds, but without it, I would have never found the incredible person I am with now. I feel like I'm pausing and stuttering here. Let's see. Now I am fully in touch with my sensitive side again. It was not like that in the beginning of our relationship, as I still had to deal with some insecurities, but we've both been growing slowly and steadily as a couple and as individuals. I learned a few things along the way, and I feel like I'm honestly expanding my outlook on life and love. Here are some signs and traits I've noticed that will help you recognize a soulmate connection. Number one, you're comfortable being vulnerable around them. You know those soft places you know those soft places you keep hidden from everyone else? With your soulmate, there's no hiding. You realize you found true love when you realize you found true love when you feel comfortable sharing your fears and insecurities. You can't help it. There's a sense of comfort and familiarity that you've never experienced before. Nothing is too strange or too emotional to talk about, and you let your true colors show without fear of judgment. Yesterday, I was feeling a bit consumed by self doubt and shared it with with my partner. He said everything I needed to hear and reassured me about how much he loved me. I could tell how much he appreciated how open I was with him. In my previous relationships, this would have never happened, but with him, it just feels right. Number two, you share an amazing physical chemistry. Typically, soulmate connections have lots of touching. You share an undeniable attraction, and it feels amazing when you touch each other. We have the urge to touch each other as we speak, maybe a light tap on the leg, an arm around the shoulder, or even offering to move hair out of the other's face. Cash and Susan in Four Signs of Soulmate Physical Chemistry. I wonder. Oh, I can probably read that next. Anyway, number three, you feel calm at ease. The relationship just flows and it gives you a sense of inner calm. You don't feel insecure, nor do you worry about saying or doing something that will turn your partner off. Sure, insecurities will come up. You're human after all, but deep down, you know they're not rational. You feel confident that your partner is with you for the long haul. No matter what happens in your lives, you both agree that you are teammates and in it together. Your inner voice tells you that you are in a healthy relationship. You trust each other, feel confident and comfortable around each other, and feel safe discussing challenging topics in a mature way. It's from Tracy Steinberg, author of Flirt for Fun and Meet the One. Number four, you handle conflict well. Fights and disagreements are inevitable. When two people spend a lot of time together, they are bound to disagree from time to time. The difference is, with your soulmate, there's no blaming or yelling. You listen and pay attention to what the other person has to say because you genuinely care about them and their feelings. You have your differences, but you're on the same page where it really matters. They stay close when you confide, give you their full attention, and move in to answer your needs, touching your hand when you are a little unsure, beaming and hugging you when you are glad, and tenderly comforting you when you are in pain. It's from Dr. Sue Johnson, author of Love Sense. You know it in your gut, number five. The saying, when you know, couldn't be more truer when it comes to a soulmate connection. Trusting your gut feeling can feel like a leap of faith, but you can't help it because suddenly everything makes sense. Now you understand why certain things happened. It feels like all the hurt you experienced was serving the purpose of forcing you to learn certain lessons in order for you to run into this amazing relationship. Number six, you communicate without speaking. With your soulmate, you don't have to say a single word. Your hearts speak to each other. One may finish the other's sentences. They may pick up the phone to call each other simultaneously or feel like they simply can't be without their partner. Dr. Carmen Hara, clinical psychologist. A soulmate is someone who just gets you. You connect on an emotional, physical, and spiritual level. This doesn't mean that you won't have to work on your relationship, because you will. No matter how amazing and meaningful your connection is, you both still have to keep choosing each other every day. The difference is you just know you're meant to be together regardless of the obstacles you may face. You face the world as one, and no one can ever break that bond. You don't have to change a thing. A soulmate will see you and love you for who you truly are. They'll see you at your worst and love you anyway. Believe me, you don't even need to read articles like this one. You'll know, I promise. Damn, shit, that's so dope. I love it. Let's see, let's go back. 4 signs of soulmate physical chemistry. And then I think I'll end with this one. It's still hard to sit up because I was in a car accident a couple weeks ago, and I can do stuff and sit up and do all that, but it's very short-lived. Okay, so this is spiritualunite.com. 4 signs of soulmate physical chemistry. This is interesting to read because I typically don't sit down and read this stuff. I just experience and allow the energy to flow through me and understand it. You know what I'm saying? Just really, truly feeling it all and understanding what every charge of that energy is doing and giving me. We have a lot in common with our soulmate. That is the nature of the relationship. Our souls are closely related, meaning that our core vibrational energies are more attuned than with most others. It means that we share a strong emotional and spiritual connection with our soulmate, which imbues the relationship with emotional and spiritual chemistry. But it is not the only chemistry we share with our soulmate. We also share physical chemistry, at least in most cases. But what signs of soulmate physical chemistry should we look out for in someone? Lots of touching. When we have strong physical chemistry with our soulmate, we tend to engage in what has been termed conversational contact. We have the urge to touch each other as we speak, maybe a light tap on the leg, an arm around the shoulder, or even offering to move hair out of the other's face. From a distance, this might look inconsequential, but it is, in reality, a definite sign of physical chemistry, but only if it's mutual. It is important to note that lots of relative, hold on, what does it say? It's important to know that lots is relative here. Some people are naturally averse to physical contact, so a little of it is more than enough to signal physical chemistry. The important thing is that both parties are exhibiting the same desire for physical contact. Mirroring. Mirroring is a social behavior where we unconsciously copy the motions and physical mannerisms of another person. Mirroring is a reliable indicator of physical chemistry between soulmates. What you can see between them is an example of vibrational energies attuning to each other. If mirroring comes naturally and without conscious effort, then our physicality is already well attuned to our soulmates. Open body language. Only if it's mental or mutual, absolutely right. Yep, only if it's mutual. Gotta note that. Gots to be mutual. If it's not mutual, then that ain't it. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't mutual, it ain't it. If it's not reciprocated, it ain't it. Let me take this off here, sorry. Okay, open body language. An open or welcoming stance is also a healthy sign of soulmate physical chemistry. Examples of this kind of position are open arms and legs, the whole or majority of the body facing towards us, and a tendency to look at us even when addressing a group of people. That's so insane. I was just having a conversation with somebody about this yesterday. It's crazy. We can see this as an unconscious invitation to physical contact. They want us to be near them, and their body is letting us know that. If both parties exhibit this behavior, it is a sure sign of physical chemistry. Sexual attraction. Last but certainly not least is sexual attraction. Excuse me. Last but not least is sexual attraction. This is slightly subtly different to physical chemistry, as it is possible to share physical chemistry with someone who we are not sexually attracted to, and there is no guarantee that our soulmate is supposed to be a sexual partner. Let me read that again for the people in the back. Sexual attraction. This is slightly, subtly different to physical chemistry, as it is possible to share physical chemistry with someone who we are not sexually attracted to, and there is no guarantee that our soulmate is supposed to be a sexual partner. But sexual attraction itself is a dead giveaway for physical chemistry. And if the relationship reaches the point where there is a sexual component to it, we will know for sure whether we share physical chemistry with our soulmate. We will know this through intuition. Either it feels right or it feels wrong. This is a product of the soulmate contract, the predefined agreement our souls made with each other as to the nature of the relationship we would have on Earth. So those are the signs, but honestly, physical chemistry should be less important to us than spiritual and emotional chemistry. We should use physical chemistry primarily as a guiding hand to tell us which way a relationship is supposed to go. I don't know if I agree with that part. I mean, I feel that, let's see, how do I say this? It says, honestly, physical chemistry should be less important to us than spiritual and emotional chemistry. I agree with that. We should use physical. This is the part where I'm a little about. We should use physical chemistry primarily as a guiding hand to tell us which way. Well, I guess I can agree with that. I mean, yeah, primarily. Yeah, because if they touching you in a way that you don't want them to touch you, like they smacking you across your eyelash or something, then I might that's not you know what I'm saying? It's a little that's questionable there. But yeah, I guess I agree with that. We should use physical chemistry primarily as a guiding hand to tell us which way a relationship is supposed to go. Okay, sounds good, Damoon. Uh that's cool. Let me see. But yeah, that's what no, we're not joining nobody's newsletter. Sorry about that. How are you all doing? What you think? What you think? What you think? Right, only if it's mutual. Love it. But yeah, I'm gonna go back and lay down. My head's still banging and my neck's irritated, but I wanted to share a little bit with you guys. I know I haven't been on for a minute, but or it feels like it to me. I've been so busy and lots of other stuff going on, but thought I'd share that with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a message or comment down below. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Have tons of stuff coming up. Working on stuff that's in the pipeline. We're ready to bubble and burst. So thanks for tuning in. Yours truly. This is Mai-Ling, Pretty Flower 2618. Dragon's Lair Entertainment. I am out.